Hello Aries, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing readings for October 2025, and we are using the Elder Futhark on Willow wood, and we are using the Woodland Wardens Oracle deck. So let's get started with a card from the Woodland Wardens. And for Aries, we have the Deer and Oat Healing. Did we have this for you before, Aries, in an earlier month? So this month you're going to be very focused on healing. Whatever that is for you and whatever you need it to be. But definitely the thing about, the main focus is going to be about healing this month. And this is sort of like that natural grace. I think it's what's the name of it? That beautiful white light oracle. and there's deer in there, and that's the whole natural grace thing about just trusting the healing. Trusting that the healing will happen, trusting the healing to happen. And so let's get some runes down, get some clarity on this. Ooh, that's neat. That's interesting. I'm inclined to read it in a way that I haven't yet, because I read this as an overwhelm earlier, and I think that's certainly the case. But it's also the breaking of a day, it's a new dawn, and allowing that to come. So your central issue, Aries, this month is Dagas, which is the rune of the breaking of the day. I really see this as letting the dawn break, basically trusting that the new day will come. This is basically trusting to healing. There may be a lot of overwhelm, but I really do see this as a return of, light and color and air, and just everything filling your entire field of vision and full illumination. And leading up to this, we have Pertho reversed. Pertho is the rune of the lot box. This has to do with surprises and fate. Sometimes, I might read this as, I could very well read this as there's been an unpleasant surprise, but I'm not really inclined to do that. I think what's happened, even if there was an unpleasant surprise, I think the key thing that's just happened is that you've just learned something about yourself that you didn't realize before, or you didn't acknowledge before, but that was always the case. Perthos the lot box. This has to do with surprises and fate, and whatever's in the lot box was already in the lot box. So when it opens, it's a surprise to you, but it's not a surprise to the universe. So once you realize this thing about yourself, you also realize that this has always been a thing about yourself. And at that point, the healing can start to happen. At that point, the sun starts to come up, and you're starting to get, your light and color and air back, and it starts to be the return of your energy. What is going to help you with that is we have Algies reversed. Algies is the rune of the elk, otherwise known as the moose. Interesting that we have an antlered creature in our... We have a cervid right here. This is neither elk nor moose, but this is. It is reversed on the upper line, and reversals on the upper line tend to mean inner. So what is going to help you in this case is you are trusting yourself to protect yourself, to support yourself. You are able to step forward into the world supporting yourself, especially as this is happening. It's like once you realize this about who you are and who you've always been, suddenly it's like the lights come on. And what helps you with that is you are stepping into this. It's like you're stepping into a waiting skin that was always yours, and you are moving forward strong and supporting of yourself where you haven't before. You can feel much more confident now as far as being able to support yourself. Especially as things are coming back to you, your energy is coming back to you, and this is all part of the healing. What isn't going to help is we have Thurizaz, which is the rune of the thorn, the giant, the gateway. It is the challenge rune. It is a threshold, because maybe there was a situation where you felt like you had to rely on other people for this, and you didn't need to, and you never needed to, and you waited, and then suddenly you realized you had it in you all along. And so there's that sense of leaving that behind, that sense of, it's almost like it was a comfort of your reliance, but that you didn't need. And in order to leave that, it's a bit of a challenge, because it's like it's like a paradigm shift. It's like, okay, I can handle this, but what about my whole framework that I had before? So, but it's not a really hard challenge, but you're worried about the fact that it is a threshold. Once you cross this, you won't be able to go back. You just can't. You can't go back to what it was before. So if this starts to drag you down, which it might, obviously acknowledge it if this is a feeling that you're having, but you're stronger now, as far as you were always strong, but you're realizing your strength now. So bring yourself back up to where you have that sense of, you know, your inner abilities to support yourself. You're able to stand up for yourself and move forward. And in this way, you'll cross the threshold without even feeling it, because you yourself will cross it. And by the end of the month, we have Kaunaz reversed. Kaunaz is the rune of the torch or the fire, and it's when it's upright, it's opening out and expansion. When it's reversed, it's honing a focus, and it's also eliminating. Sometimes I read this as eliminating options, but I really see this as eliminating distractions. You are no longer relying on others to do for you what you can do yourself. And so you're moving forward much more clearly and much more focusedly by the end of the month. So that, Aries, is your reading for October 2025. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.